So, hello and welcome back yet again to another week in the world of Warcraft. And I really do need to fix the picture that I use as the opening, since I keep using Onyx in this, and probably if and when we ever keep going and get to Borealis and the Shadowlands, I will most likely end up using Beryl's daughter, Donna. So at some point I might have to throw her into the mix, but right now she's bumbling around in the Shadowlands. I say bumbling, she's not having any trouble at all there. It's just I didn't really want to do Shadowlands, but I finally caved in and started doing it. And the first zone wasn't bad at all. The second zone, Maldraxxus, it's ugly. It's really ugly, and I'm not enjoying it. I'm doing it because I know that there is a zone coming up, Ardenweald, that I'm looking forward to because it's pretty. I mean, I hate to sound so basic, but I really don't appreciate the kind of green tone to Maldraxxus. Everything is just sort of this sickly green color and just looks diseased and gross, and that's just not my aesthetic, so not having a lot of fun in there. Plus, all of the enemies are just these shambling skeletal or putrescent looking things, and it's just not me. I'm not saying that everything has to be lollipops and roses, but sometimes I don't mind it. But this week we are still in the Eastern Kingdoms, and we are going to go through Shadowfang Keep. I have never taken Onyx through Shadowfang Keep, so I think that will be pretty darn cool. And I think that we're going to have a good time in here. Now, I did look up a little bit of the lore on Shadowfang Keep, and it actually has a lot of deep lore, and it's interesting because so many of these old world dungeons have gone through a lot of changes since the beginning of World of Warcraft. I remember going into Shadowfang Keep back in either Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King, and there were a lot of class specific quests that were in there, and you can still see some of the remnants of those quests, even though I think they're completely taken out of the WoW retail version that I am playing currently. I do have access to WoW Classic, but I haven't picked it up because I just haven't. But I do remember that there was a Warlock quest, and I think that one was tied to getting your Warlock Death Charger mount. I think that was the name of it. And then there were some Paladin specific quests that I think had something to do with a weapon. But in the deep lore of the Shadowfang Keep, it was the keep that was taken over by Arugal. And I'm probably butchering that name, but sorry. And he had this entire keep filled with Worgen, and he was actually the mage responsible for bringing the Curse of the Worgen to Gilneas. Originally, Worgen were part of the Night Elf Emerald Dream, like Druid class, but they were hard to control, and so they were bound up. But Arugal just saw their potential as a weapon, and he brought them to Azeroth, and a lot of them went really, really feral, at least until Cataclysm, when they decided to make them a playable race. So that was your original quest, was trying to defeat Arugal and defeat his Worgen. And then after that, he was finally defeated, and the Forsaken and the Alliance started fighting over Shadowfang Keep. And during Cataclysm, it was taken over by a bunch of undead, but there are still a lot of Worgen that are now helping you out. They're the playable Worgen, at least on the Alliance side. I don't know that I have done the Horde side quests since Wrath of the Lich King, so this will be kind of new for me too. So, with all of that being said and babbled and done, and all of those other silly things that I usually do before I start, let's get in and see what the Horde side quests are like. Alright, we are inside, taking a look around. I do see a quest up here. Now, the other thing is, I have a terrible habit of getting lost when I'm in dungeons. Hopefully I won't get too lost in this one. It's mostly straightforward from what I remember. Alright, so the Deathstalker Commander Belmont says, "This land is our land. Did you think that a handful of Worgen vermin could stop me? Ha! Shadowfang Keep was part of the Lordaeron Kingdom in life, so it's quite fitting that it should belong to the Forsaken in death. Godfrey and his accomplices are minor obstacles at best, and of course, we are all happy to take them out for their treachery against the Dark Lady Sylvanas. Ashbury has positioned himself near the front of the keep, leaving him wide open to attack. Start us out on the right foot and kill Baron Ashbury."
Remember,
I'm sure I can manage that.
discipline.
Now, I do know when you do this on the Alliance side, you have a team of Worgen commandos, so this should be pretty interesting. Our first person that we're taking out is the Baron Ashbury. And he was slain by Worgen and raised to undeath by the Forsaken. The traitor Baron Ashbury toys with his foes, keeping them alive so that he can inflict maximum pain and suffering. Well, I don't think we have to worry about him too much. Wonder what this guy has to say. He just wants me to go away. Rude. What if I don't want to go away? Alright, so we just take out a bunch of these guys. And I think, and I'm not sure if I will see any of them right here, but back in the day, I remember having to collect, I think it was piles of silver in the keep here. And I can't remember what it was for, but I do remember it was a thing that we had to do. Also, you know what? Let's take you off. Defensive works. Alright. But yeah, I remember having to collect piles of silver, and I did see them the last time I came into this area. So, I don't think you actually have to collect it anymore. At least I didn't on the Alliance side the last time I came through here. Sorry, I can't help but loot everything. Alright, we have taken out Baron Ashbury. Ha ha ha.
What now?
Ah, well done. They've gotten a hold of powerful allies, but clearly nothing that a hunter champion of the Banshee Queen can't handle. That's right. I am a hunter champion. Actually, it is funny because hunter is my preferred class. I also remember back in the day, you used to have to open up one of these cells and take out at least a couple of the prisoners to open the next part. These days, you don't have to do that. You just have to find this guy who will open the door for you. Plague everywhere.
Beware the living.
Hey, stand still.
Hello.
The best part about this plague is that even when it visually fades away, the residue is potent. However, we still have an enormous area to cover before we're done, with plenty of Godfrey's defenses along the way. It appears that the spirits that serve Baron Silverlane and Commander Springvale in life guard them in death, and Godfrey is using them to stop us. Show them all the iron will of the Forsaken.
Our
Let me
time
if you say
will
so.
come.
What if I don't want to, though? I really should stop acting like an idiot. Having a good time tonight, though. So, we're just gonna kill these guys. I think also that these human servitors, when you're playing on the Alliance side, are not friendly, but I think that they're neutral to you. Now, I also remember that the Warlock quest had you in here killing off these Shadow Chargers. Oh, look at that. And the Fellsteed. And I'm fairly certain that this Fellsteed was the one that could become the Warlock's mount back in the day. And I killed it. I should feel very, very guilty. I guess I kind of do. But you know what? He was there, so that's just what we're gonna say. That's what we're gonna say. Now, I think we have to go down here. Yep, there's those piles of silver or iron or whatever it was. I'm fairly sure that it was a paladin quest and you had to collect it maybe to forge your weapon that you were going to be making. Also, let's see if we can open up this chest. Whenever you're in dungeons, keep an eye out for these chests because sometimes they contain really cool stuff. Mostly for just appearances and things, but there's nothing wrong with that. Also, Moonstone it would be, or Chalcedony. I couldn't remember which hunter pet I had with me today. Wow, I took him out across the room, didn't I? Nice. Alright. Oh, well, hello, High Warlord Cromush. There's a lot of infighting between the various factions of the Horde, and that plays out a lot. So, they are definitely fighting and bickering over the fact that the plague is being used in here. Be warned, Belmont. If I find that you're lying, haha, you will see the War Chief's wrath firsthand. Now, the War Chief he is actually talking about is not Sylvanas, who was the War Chief in Battle for Azeroth and the beginning of, well, actually not even the beginning of Shadowlands, but it was Hellscream, who was the Warlord for a while, and before that, the Warlord was Thrall, I do believe. The War Horde has gone through so many War Chiefs. It seems to be a cursed position. Not that the Alliance has had too much more luck, but I think they've only had 2 kings. So, I think we're a little bit ahead of the Horde there. Alright. Hopefully I'm not going to get lost. Now it looks like I have made it. Good. This is one of those I always remember, or not remember, I always forget which way to go. But it looks like we did it. Yay. Alright. I think I have to wait for him so I can actually turn this quest in. That's the other thing that I don't like about this dungeon, is there's a couple different times when you have to wait to turn in your quests. So,
Speak quickly.
Cromush has both a thick skull and a fool's brain, and we will use that to our advantage. By the time anybody finds out about the plague's potency, it'll be far too late. Thank you for keeping quiet during his tirade. I promise you won't regret it. Well, if you promise. Now he wants us to take out Lord Walden. I also forgot to read about those two bosses, so we'll do that in just a second. Unsurprisingly, we aren't going to listen to Kramash about the plague. However, his brute strength will come in handy for muscling my men through the many foes ahead on the path to Godfrey, the most powerful being, his right-hand man, Lord Walden. I'll meet you in Walden's chamber after you finish him off. Then, at long last, we can take Shadowfang Keep for the Forsaken.
Victory for Sylvanas.
It is interesting the differences between the Horde and the Alliance side as far as the questing goes. You're still killing all the same bosses, but the story is a lot different. So, let me read about those two bosses that we just took out, since actually, I guess it was just one that was the one that he wanted killed. Commander Springvale, a loyal soldier. The ghost of Commander Springvale haunts the council room, using his unholy strikes to avenge his lord, the Baron Silverline. Now, I do know from my reading that the Baron Silverline was the original owner of this keep, way back in the day when Lordaeron was still a thing. But, like I said, it has gone through many iterations over the years. Now it's being kept by ghosties and a bunch of Scourge. I think... Now, one interesting thing that I do remember, which is kind of funny, and I can't remember if it's still a fact, but back when I was running through this dungeon on my hunter ages and ages ago, and it was the entire dungeon was filled with worgen, I do remember that you could skin them. Which is a little bit creepy because technically they are humanoids. And that really always made me wonder. Because that's just, that's somewhere between a little messed up and a whole heck of a lot messed up. It's still kind of funny. Right, we are actually getting closer to the end of this. Now, one thing that I've always found incredibly creepy and always wondered about is what were they keeping? Because honestly, those look like they're supposed to be horse skeletons, but I just had to go up 2 flights of stairs to get here, and if you are keeping horses up flights of stairs, what is wrong with you, and where did you get these horses? Because I have owned horses, and I don't think that they would willingly climb stairs for me. I don't know. I think it's just for the aesthetic of it. You know, you've got your creepy skeletons in every corner. I think this one might have been a dog. Or, no, that is some sort of humanoid. You know, I said it might have been a dog. It was probably a worgen. And I just ran into a wall. Because I am just that good. Hopefully I didn't just get turned around, but it would be fitting for me. Nope, I did not get turned around. Alright, here we have Lord Walden. Let's read about him. Godfrey's right-hand man, the arrogant Lord Walden, vowed to pay any price, including death, to serve his compatriot. Now among the undead, Walden intends to keep his word, attacking adversaries with ice and venom. Thankfully, I am so over level that he does not get a chance to attack me with ice and venom. He also said his new life was just beginning. Alright, Deathstalker Commander Belmont, now what? Like, let's do this. This is another one where you kind of have to wait because the door has to be opened. You better hurry up if you want in on all of the fun. Thank you. I do want in on all of the fun.
Forsaken.
The time has come and Godfrey will fall. If all goes well, you'll be able to just walk right into Godfrey's personal domain and take a reward fitting for such an eager young hunter. Godfrey is a cunning foe, though, so it may be wise to head up there quickly in case you're needed. He will pay for what he did to the Dark Lady. Now, what he's referring to there is the Horde quest chain throughout Silverpine Forest, where you end up going through and turning 3 of the Gilneans into Forsaken. And then they double-cross Sylvanas, and they actually kill her. But she's resurrected by her Valkyrie, so death is very rarely completely permanent in World of Warcraft, but, you know, sometimes it is. Alright, let's take out this final boss. And then I have to look at the map and see where we are going next. I think it's Hillsbrad Foothill. Let's just peek. Yeah, Hillsbrad Foothills. I'm like, is it Hillsborough or Hillsbrad? Because, yeah, I am just that smarticle, thank you very much. But yeah, we're going to be doing Hillsbrad Foothills and probably doing a mixture of Onyx and Beryl. Mostly because there are different aspects. Again, it's a Horde zone, but there are a few spots that are interesting to look at in an Alliance player's perspective. Plus, I can't help it. I like having both of the sisters together, even if, in reality, they would not be together or friendly at all. And now we wait again. Eventually, they will get up here and open this door for me. Hello? Hello, let me in. There we go. Took him long enough, didn't it? Also, dude, love the hair. Why is this door shut? Well, because it's not open. Uh-oh. Romush, what happened? I don't know. The coward killed them, poisoned me.
Macaw.
You will pay for this, Godfrey. Heroes, kill Godfrey. Okay, gotcha. Killing Godfrey. Let's go. I'm sorry, I'm in a really weird mood tonight. Probably because our weather changed. It's been so hot. But now it's not, so that makes me very, very happy. I can't remember, did we read about Godfrey? Ah, no we did not. So the final boss of Shadowfang Keep, this version, not the old version, is Lord Godfrey. Drawing from his past as a Gilnean noble and a Forsaken agent, the cunning and resourceful Lord Godfrey wields dual pistols and commands flesh-eating ghouls. Huh. Isn't he just special? He's also really special. And we have earned the achievement Shadowfang Keep. Woohoo! I am definitely in an odd mood tonight, but that is okay. You know? Some days you just gotta be in an odd mood.
That better be good.
Sweet, merciless revenge. For a minute there, I thought all was lost. Even when surrounded by the Worgen in Gilneas, I had higher hopes, but you proved me wrong, Onyx. I will see to it that Sylvanas herself hears of your triumph here today. Don't worry about the mess in here. I'll see to it myself. He's probably going to be collecting body parts, because that is what he does. Alright, what is worth more money? 138, 139. I will take the boots. Thank you very much, because I will just be selling them. So yeah, that was the Shadowfang Keep, and you can kind of look around as you leave if you want. Also, one thing that I do love is after you clear out these dungeons with a group or just by yourself, it's the perfect time to just poke around in them and check everything out. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff. Like, this room itself is very cool. A few hundred skulls on the shelves, but you know, it adds to the vibe. It definitely does. But yeah, next week we will be running through Hillsbrad Foothills. It is a fun Horde zone that used to be a contested zone back in Classic World of Warcraft. By the time I got around to playing and dealing with it, it was already under Horde control. But back in the day, and if you want to see the way it was back in the day, you just head to the Caverns of Time, and there is a dungeon there where you can run around and see all of the cool classic stuff. But we are going to be doing my very favorite quest, and Onyx has not done it, amazingly enough. So I'll be able to actually show you the quest. It's hilarious. It's called Welcome to the Machine. It might be, like, the best quest chain, in my opinion, is in Silverpine Forest for the Horde. But one of the best quests in the entire game, again, in my opinion, is Welcome to the Machine. And I'm really, really happy that Onyx hasn't done it so that we can do it together next week. But until then, I hope you had a good time running through this dungeon with me, and I will see you, hopefully, next week as we go through another zone of the Eastern Kingdoms. Leave me a thumbs up if you want. Leave me any memories down below that you have of either Silverpine Forest or Shadowfang Keep. It was a really cool dungeon. It's still pretty cool. But other than that, have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you later.